Hey, what's up guys? It's Scares here. Now, first story for today comes from Teeqo. Now, you guys might know who Teeqo is. This guy was a FaZe member, or he might still be a FaZe member. No one really knows because Teeqo actually called out FaZe Clan just a few days ago. Teeqo tweeted this out. He says, "I can't wait to talk my and let you all know how things really are. There isn't no loyalty in this, nothing but lies and fake promises over and over again. No one has your best interest at heart. Real friends don't exist in this. Trust me. I've tried really hard to solve and fix these things for a long time, but no one cares. So I think it's time to let you in on some of this and hear for yourself. You deserve to know the truth, and the truth you shall get. See you soon." And Teeqo then posted a full video exposing FaZe. This video has blown up, has nearly 2 million views right now, and in this video, he really goes in on FaZe. I mean, you could tell he's very upset. And this is because he feels like FaZe is just walking all over him. Like they are just treating him with a ton of disrespect. And he also says here that FaZe won't even publicly announce that he's been dropped from the team. He doesn't know if he's in the team or not. And he's asking them to let him know if he's even in the team anymore. And he's very upset with them. He feels like the team has gone very corporate. He says here that the team has a bunch of big brands behind them. But FaZe right now feels much smaller because they get a lot less interaction. And there's a lot less people talking about FaZe anymore. So even though the corporate guys at FaZe feel like FaZe is doing really well and they have a lot of big brands, FaZe itself seems to be dying pretty badly here.
In a way, FaZe is bigger than it ever was, but it's also smaller than it ever was. All of these collabs that we were doing with really big brands, you know what it is to me? All of these collabs that's coming out, it's like Band-Aid or silver tape on internal bleeding. That's the way I see it. And they think talent don't matter. They think that we don't matter because they think that they can do everything because they see the FaZe logo as the Nike logo and they can just do whatever they want. But there's no depth to it. There's no substance there. There's nothing behind that FaZe logo backing it. There's no culture anymore. That's what these people don't understand. So I'm asking you right now, once again, since you claim to be the biggest org in the world, you know, the leader in the space, pushing this whole community forward, leading by example, am I in FaZe or not? Because if I'm not, I would like to see a statement that I'm not anymore, and I'm cool with it. Trust me, I can stand on my own 2 legs. I have a very fucking good community. I'm not worried about that at all. You need people like me more than I need you.
So just in the last few months, 2 of the most prominent FaZe members have called out the organization, FaZe Rain and FaZe Teeqo. And a lot of former members are now coming out saying that they feel like this whole situation is really messed up. Even the largest creator in all of FaZe, FaZe Rug, has shown his support to Teeqo over the past few days. And it really seems like FaZe might be corrupted by corporate interests and corporate money right now. And there are people who have ran gaming teams in the past who are tweeting about this. And they say here that these investors usually only just want the brand and the esports team. They don't care about the creators anymore. So that might be the case with FaZe. We don't know, but it looks like they care a lot about the esports team and they might have just stopped caring about any of their creators. And it also looks like many of the original well-known FaZe members are going to now meet up to discuss what's happening with FaZe. So we don't know exactly what they're discussing here, but they might be trying to save FaZe. Now the next story for today comes from the creator known as Atrioc. Now for those of you who don't know who Atrioc is, he was the creator that got caught watching deepfake explicit videos of people that he knew, other creators, and this has been a massive story this year, and people are interested in what exactly Atrioc is doing now because he left Twitch and YouTube and everything, and he didn't really post much or he didn't stream much since that whole thing happened. Well, he came back and he said here that he is now working with a new company to combat and take down deepfake videos. That's right, so he's actually going to work with companies now to take down these deepfake videos, and he's trying to tell people that he has changed and that he's going to now try to fight this. Just a heads up, there is a bit of lag on the stream that he was doing, but just watch this.
But I wanted to give briefly a moment and just say that I really apologize for the last time I was live. That live stream was terrible. Ari and I had been up since 2 a.m. just mainlining LSF comments, and my brain was just total TV static. Like I wasn't thinking, I was rambling, and I just apologize. It was bad. So I don't want to dwell on that, but I feel like it needed to be said. So okay, it's about a week after, right? It's a week after the event. And the first thing I did was I wired Morrison Rothman about $60,000 to cover any woman on Twitch who wanted to use their services, their legal services, for DMCA takedowns or reputation management. That's only step 1, and that's just money. That's not a huge deal, but I just want to just how it started. And that was because QT has worked with them for a very long time. She recommended them to all the women involved and then told me. So I just covered to make sure anyone who was using it, I think that's baseline, anyone who's using it is not financially impacted. All right. But the important thing is that now I had a connection in with Morrison Rothman. So I was able to ask questions and just see what the process is for takedowns. and actually learn more about how this process works so you can see if we can help or make it better or do anything like that. This is all relatively recent. It takes a few days per person, right? But we got like Pokemon went live 2 days ago. And again, an incredible amount of takedowns. Like we got, I think 2,000 things already, like more than everyone else combined almost for Pokemon. So we're taking down, which is awesome. Yeah, so that's the DMT. And again, I'm not saying that there's no use for the legal side. I think this bot is incredibly useful because the vast majority of what you need to get done is just takedowns. DMC takedown requests because it gets it delisted from Google.
Now our next story for today comes from the massive creator Critical. So for those who don't know, the ex-YouTuber Sneako had been calling out Critical for a long time, and a couple of months ago, Critical finally responded. And after he responded with his own video on Sneako, Sneako went pretty crazy over Critical, like he was just talking about him constantly. So Sneako's obviously been very upset with the people who have gone after him, and a couple of days ago, Sneako posted a big photo of everyone who he's really upset about because they called him out or they said something about him and he's really mad at them, I guess. He tweeted out saying, "Pattern recognition. This collage is everyone who advocated for my cancellation." So Sneako has continued to go after these people for months now, and Critical finally had enough, and he responded on Twitter. He says, "Holy shit, you pathetic, sensitive soy little worm." He then brings up that in his response to Sneako, he made fun of him because Sneako had actually watched his girlfriend sleep with another man in their own bed. He also calls out Sneako for defending CP, and he says, "That's not cancellation, that's just spitting on you for being a pitiful, sad cuck." Well, this tweet completely blew up. We're talking tens of millions of views on Twitter here. I have never seen a YouTube controversy get this big on Twitter. I think this is the biggest YouTuber controversy ever. Like, I've never seen something this big. A Sneako responded saying, "You know in your soul you would never say that to my face." Critical responds back saying, "You literally have a collage of people that hurt your feelings on the internet. You haven't stopped whining about me for months now, you goofy NPC." Sneako responds saying, "You're not special from the other 10 soy boys who say the same thing. If you got a problem, stop talking on the internet. Let's solve it." So Sneako really wants to fight Critical here, and he responds saying, "Got your Discord still working on responses? Brother, I have no problem. You started it and I made fun of you in return. You're upset about it publicly admitting to cuckoldry and getting mad at me for bringing it up. You should be mad at yourself instead. Have some self-reflection." So Sneako continued to get upset with this.
So let me ask you, if you saw him walking down the street, what are you doing?
I would walk up to him and I would say the same stuff that you said in your videos. I would look him dead in the eye and say, all that stuff you said in your videos, say it to my face right now. And I know that he would freeze up and not say a word. This is why I'm sick of the internet.
And Critical actually made a full video on Sneako yesterday that has completely blown up. And in this video, Critical has to teach Sneako about firearms because it looks like Sneako didn't even know what he was talking about here. He called it a clip when it really was a mag. And Charlie even brings on his own rifle here to give Sneako a lesson on this.
And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here.
So this controversy is huge. I mean, this has been literally everywhere. And the next topic we have for you guys today comes from the YouTuber known as Kwite. So Kwite is a very big YouTuber, and this guy recently got called out by a guy known as Orion over Twitter. And this was a very, very serious tweet longer that he posted. He claimed here that Kwite had actually assaulted him. It was a really, really disturbing situation. Well, a few days ago, Kwite posted a huge response to this. This is over an hour and 30 minutes long, okay? The video itself has made over 2.9 million views in just a few days, and this is because in this video, Kwite really tries to dismantle every single argument that Orion made in his initial tweet longer.
I'll be going through everything I've been able to gather around mine and Orion's interactions to give my side of how the time we knew each other went and to demonstrate what things Orion alleges happened that conflict with what I have to show. Every single thing I have been accused of, not just from this set of allegations, but the one Orion tried to spread in that video from 2018, have never once been substantiated by any solid evidence other than testimony. The only thing ever backing any accusations Orion made against me was a person saying that something happened.
So this video has garnered overwhelming support from the whole YouTube community because people just can't believe how serious the situation got and how Kwite has now just tried to dismantle everything. You could tell that he's very serious about this because this could ruin his whole reputation and this could ruin his life even though he shows evidence that it never happened. Now, our next story for today has to do with YouTuber boxing again. I know we talk about YouTuber boxing a lot on this channel, but this is pretty cool. It looks like Floyd Mayweather and KSI's team are in talks with potentially teaming up to fight Manny Pacquiao and Salt Poppy. You know, the TikTok star guy that we've seen in fights before? Well, it looks like these guys are going to team up and they're going to have a big fight together. Apparently they're in talks right now, so we're just telling you this before the big announcement's made, but it might be a really, really crazy fight. And moving on to our next story for today, this is another small story, but it's also pretty serious. This one comes from the YouTuber known as Gilstrap TV. Now, Gilstrap was actually recording a video and he was going to upload a video this week. If you don't know what he does, he goes out there and he passes gas, but it's a joke video, obviously. He's not actually doing anything. It's just he makes the funny noise and people laugh, and it's a funny prank video. It's very, very harmless. Some of the most harmless videos on YouTube. But it turns out that someone got so upset with him for doing this prank to them that they ended up pulling out a knife on him, and the police got called. So he can't upload this week, and that's why he actually made an update on his community tab on YouTube saying that he's gonna have a video next week and not this week. And our final story for today comes from the huge creator known as Minx. So Minx is big in the streaming scene. We've talked about her before, and she actually recently got into a bit of controversy because, if you don't know, there was a Streamer Awards a few days ago, and at one of the after parties, Minx apparently was very intoxicated, very, very intoxicated, to the point where the entire party was canceled. I mean, this was a really serious situation, and now Minx is okay, but there are other huge creators that are very upset with Minx over this, and they feel like she has a very big problem here. And one of these creators is Cr1TiKaL. Now, we've talked about Cutie before. She is a very well-known creator, and she got upset with Minx over this.
We're trying to figure out, does she need an Uber home? Does she need an Uber to an emergency room? What should we do? By the time I get called out there, they're telling me the party needs to be shut down because since she's in the front yard, neighbors are starting to come out because it's causing a scene. And I'm saying, you know, I have to make sure she's okay, but also, like, I don't know what's going on. Her friend, unbeknownst to me, called 911. So then in this residential neighborhood, a fire truck comes pulling out, an ambulance, police cars, and they have to close the party. So by 11 o'clock, my after party that I spent thousands of dollars on to celebrate my friends is closed down. The thing that I wanted to do to finally relax and thank these people for coming and just like kind of celebrate this thing that we all just did together is closed down. And I genuinely don't want people to think that like I'm complaining about money over someone's health. It's just the sad, like the disappointment I have in somebody who promised me better and then ruined my night after everything.
Now, XQC had a very interesting take on this. Just watch this.
And people will like try to help, but they don't actually help. I'm not throwing people under the bus, okay? I don't know what really happened. This is my perspective about the people that are around Minx over the years, over the months, or I guess that I've known. People will like, you know, be like, oh, like, stop drinking, but they're not like actually helping at all. Well, I mean, bro, stop. It's just how it is, okay? It's just my view on it.
Wow, so it looks like the streaming community is coming together to try to figure out how to help Minx with this big problem that she has here. And that's it for our video today. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you later. Peace.